But the mark I've come to know is happy.
Hello, is anyone there? Is the board on? It's Mark S. from Macro.
What you all did was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company.
What the hell?
But the four of you have become known as the face of Severance reform.
Okay, so we're not in trouble?
I don't think so. Milchick said we're famous.
All of us equally, or one of us is like the star?
That is a peek at season 2 of the Emmy-winning hit show Severance on Apple TV+. It follows a group of white-collar employees at Lumen Industries who've undergone an irreversible medical procedure that separates their memories from their work lives with those from their personal lives. In season 2, the group of macro data refiners continue to try to unravel the many mysteries that come with being a severed employee at Lumen after they were briefly unsevered at the end of season 1. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched season 1 yet. Joining us now, 2 of the show's co-stars, Britt Lauer and Tremel Tillman, and the Emmy-nominated creator, executive producer, and writer of Severance, Dan Erickson. Guys, it's so great to have you here. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Dan, we don't want to give away too much here, but first of all, you made people wait, which was brilliant. Fans are so excited. They've been waiting, 3 years or something like that?
Yeah, that was the strategy. We could have done this much quicker, but we're like, no, 3 years, that's the magic.
Yes.
Magic era.
The appetite is whet. So for people who have not seen the series yet, and I'm told there are some still remaining, how do you explain what this show is about?
Well, honestly, you just explained it better than I've ever been able to. I usually take about 15 minutes to talk through it. But, at the end of the day, I think we've all had jobs that we wish we could disassociate from and sort of not have to experience. I'm sure you don't.
Never.
But other people.
Never.
And, I think that we all have the feeling of being different people at work sometimes than we are in our personal lives. And that's kind of what it's about.
It's such a brilliant concept. I don't know where it came from in your mind, but we can talk about that. So, Britt, when you heard the story, when you got the script and you heard that Dan was working on this, what did you make of the concept? What did you think?
Well, Dan's extraordinary pilot was so fun to read. I'm sure you remember that too. And there was just a kind of singularity to it, a unique quality to the way these characters interacted. And I personally fell in love with Helly R on the page immediately. And there's just a sense of something really fresh that Dan created.
So, Tremel, Joe, our co-host, name on the door, huge fan of your show, and he joins us with a question for you, Joe.
It really is disturbing how much I love this show. I would. So you all don't even know, but Apple would drop this at 4 a.m. every Friday morning. I would get up and I would watch from 4 to like 4:45 or 5 or whatever, because it's the only show. I told Ben,
you're not well.
Ben, it's the only show that it's so compelling. But Tremel, I think one of the things that's so crazy about this show is if you love it and if you love the characters, you're desperate for them to get out. You're desperate for them to break out of these bonds. Talk about the power. I'm sure it surprised you all. I was kind of surprised when I saw my friends. I got the show I like, but I'm not sure if you're going to get it. But just try it. It really took off. I mean, were you surprised by how successful this pretty complicated show was?
Absolutely. Whenever you work on a piece, you never know how it's going to turn out. And I knew that there was something special about this when I read the pilot, and I wanted to be a part of it. And I was grateful to audition with Ben and Dan and really sink my teeth in creating who Milchick is in this world. And just to sit back and watch the reactions, the excitement, and knowing that you woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning to tune in is a joy.
Well, Britt, it's compelling from the very beginning. We start with you lying on top of a table in an office boardroom. You're like, what the hell is this? But what's so incredible about the show is it's a puzzle. And it's a puzzle that we're still piecing together, and I can't wait to see how those pieces fit together in this season. Talk about how not only it's a puzzle, but also your character, the innie and the outie. There's this beautiful duality to it that actually I think is universal for all people.
Well, I think you actually spoke one of my lines of dialogue, which is what the hell's going on here? And, you know, Helly is on that really hungry mission in season 1, asking that question. Whereas we shouldn't spoil it for people who haven't seen season 1, but my outie is on a really different journey, as you mentioned, the duality there. And yeah, to be all of these characters kind of awakened by Helly R's questioning of why, what's going on, and being kind of that audience avatar of looking at this strange, beautiful world that Dan created and, asking why.
Yeah. Dan, it's so strange. I just have to ask, what's wrong with you? Where did this come from?
Wow.
What isn't wrong?
No, seriously, I love.
How long do you have?
I love hearing create exactly. I love creative forces though talking about where they first got the spark of an idea like this. Where did you first kind of get the spark of the idea?
Well, the truth is, I was just working a job I really, really didn't like. I was working, in an office, in a little basement office in Los Angeles, and was walking into work one day and just caught myself having this kind of dark, messed up thought, which is, what if I didn't have to experience the next 8 hours of my life? What if I could just totally disassociate from that? I totally would. I would jump ahead to the 5 p.m. and, I think in theory, we should all want to experience all of our life, not, we should want to experience all this limited time that we have on Earth. And so I was like, well, that's interesting that I caught myself thinking that, and I wonder what that means. And the story just kind of came from there. I spent the rest of the day writing down ideas for the show, and I got in trouble from my boss for not getting any work done. And the rest is history.
It paid off, I think. Not paying attention to your job and doing this worked out pretty well.
That's the moral.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Ignore the work. Guys, I want to play another clip from this season where each of your characters interact with Mark S., played by Adam Scott.
We're not the same, actually. Us and the Audis, we're not. And speaking for myself, I don't think we owe them. But Miss Casey is... well, she's one of us. So if you want to help your Audi and find out what happened to her, I'll help.
I locked you in a room like an animal, Mark. As an unsevered man, I'll carry that knowledge the rest of my life. But for the past 5 months, we've been asking how a sadist like Harmony Cobell could take fertile root in Lumen soil, and what that says about us. We also know Miss Cobell was at your sister's home when you awoke there.
Yeah. Why was that?
We believe she developed an erotic fixation on you and had plans to pursue both you and your outie in what might be termed a throuple.
What?
A throuple.
Oh, dear.
Watching those clips, it strikes me that you have the rare combination of a great conceit in the show, great writing, and then great performances by you guys. That's rare in your business. You can have one sometimes, but you rarely get all of those in one place. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. And we're also fortunate that we all get along. There's a lot of love and respect on that set. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you can have a show as high profile and specific if there's not a level of respect and camaraderie and collaboration that's happening.
There was a moment that's gone viral. I'm sure you were there, but I don't know if you know that it's gone viral. This was the Severance cast. This is inside Grand Central Station, appearing in a pop-up recreation of the workspace from the show. This is inside Grand Central Terminal. People are rushing past to go to work this week. What was that like in that box, guys?
I have no recollection of
there you go.
Yeah.
You were severed.
Good
Yeah.
answer.
Doing this for the first time.
There it is.
What are we doing there?
What an idea, huh, Dan? That's cool.
It was so cool, and when I heard that we were going to do this and actually try to pull it off, I was just so excited. It was like you just sort of saw this crowd kind of organically gather. We didn't really tell anybody we were doing it, and so it just kind of accrued over the course of it, and it was so fun.
It was really fun to be able just to improv and just find new things to do. So that clip of, Adam pushing that vacuum, that was just an idea that we had backstage.
And I was knocking things off the table right behind him like a cat.
I was like, go pick it up. Did you pick it up?
Just making trouble.
We could have done that all day, honestly.
Yes.
I bet, Nika.
All right, I have a question for Dan as we close, the creator of Severance. You created this world where people are severed from their workplace, and I'm just curious, that's Severance. What would you call us, where work is home and home is work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week almost.
Are you saying you'd like some severance?
I know. I'm just wondering what it would feel like. But and we've got these blended families, our work family, Willie, our home families. We're married. I mean, it never stops. It's definitely not Severance.
Yeah, I always thought Severance was sort of the ultimate nightmare, but yeah, you guys are sort of living on the other end of the spectrum.
Perhaps this is the ultimate nightmare. Who knows? Season 2 of Severance premieres tomorrow on Apple TV Plus with
we're so excited,
episodes.
guys.
Yay, congratulations.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
New episodes every Friday through March 21st. So grab those. Co-stars Britt and Tremel Tillman and creative executive producer and writer Dan Erickson. Thank you all. Congratulations on your success.
Are you ready to wake up at 4 a.m. every morning?
No, well,
Friday,
you're
actually?
so crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
You always watch, and then I find out later, and then we don't watch together. Okay, tomorrow show we're going to bring you Joe's sit down with Severance star Adam Scott and director Ben Stiller. So that's a great interview. That'll be fun. It is now 2 minutes.
Thank you guys again.
Past